Pray all is well with you all. Been a moment since I've been on YouTube, but I appreciate you all for the follows, for the support, for the replays. Awesome. All right, y'all. Today's topic. Let's go back. And if this is your first time, thank you for joining us and watching the replay. My name is Apostle V. Brown. I come with daily live pop-ups every week on I simultaneously go live on my platforms, and it's at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sorry I don't have much of a voice, y'all. I'm trying to get my voice back from all of my assignments these past week and a half. So keep me in your prayers, all right? All right, so I'm trying to pronounce this correctly. Today's topic, Vibrio vulnificus. Vibrio vulnificus, and the subtopic is under the radar. And the reason why I'm saying that it's under the radar is because it's not being talked about as much as it should be. If we haven't caught it in the news as of yet, this goes all the way back, really probably within the past 2 years that I looked and saw, but it just sprouted back up this year. So again, Vibrio vulnificus. If you don't know what that is, it is a flesh-eating bacteria. And these were cases that came up this year, actually. And so the article I'm going to pull this information from is from blackdoctor.org. I believe that's the website. And they reported earlier in the summer the flesh-eating bacteria. So how many of you have heard of that? Hi, blessings, Abe and Zamin. Blessings to both of you. If you don't mind sharing the live, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe now. So listen, they reported this flesh-eating bacteria earlier this summer, which was threatening in few parts of the U.S. So I don't know about any other country, but this is in the United States of America. And this is a deadly bacteria. It's not being talked about much. I don't know why, but it should be, because it's deadly. So they're saying more emergency alerts have gone out along the southeast as Vibrio vulnificus, a dangerous flesh-eating bacterium, has made an alarming comeback. So that's key right there. They said it made an alarming comeback. That means it's not new. This is old. And I've never heard of this until this year. So I didn't even know that this was something old, that it was not just discovered. So health officials in Louisiana, Florida, Mississippi, and Alabama are reporting a sharp rise in infections, including multiple deaths far exceeding historical averages. So people have died from this, y'all. So this is not It's not a game. I'm not sure why they're not talking about it as much, because so many other things are in the news that are taking precedence over this. When this is dealing with people's lives. This is a very scary sounding bacteria, Vibrio vulnificus. Fortunately, it is rare, but it can be very deadly. Dr. Alok Patel said, AB News medical contributor and pediatrician at Stanford Children's Health, told ABC News this. This bacteria normally exists in warm water, which we know if you are especially in Florida like I am, salty water, because we're near the beach, sometimes brackish water, especially during summer months. I'm in Florida, South Florida to be exact. I'm not far from the Miami area. I'm in a city called Hollandale Beach, and I'm like basically about 10 minutes away from the beach. And I don't even go to the beach on a regular, go figure. And I'm right near the beach, right? So they say that this flesh-eating disease occurs when bacteria enter the body through a break in the skin. People with a weakened immune system can be at greater risk of developing this condition. Vibrio vulnificus is a species of gram-negative, motile, curved rod-shaped, pathogenic bacteria of the genus Vibrio. It is present in marine environments such as estuaries, brackish ponds, or coastal areas, which I am in a coastal area, right? Because I'm near the beach. Our borders are nothing but beaches. So the most common way to get it is when bacteria invade your body through a cut in your skin, although it can happen if you have a trauma that doesn't break the skin. Sorry, y'all, I didn't put the title on. I meant to put the title on. My apologies. But this is about Vibrio vulnificus, which is a flesh-eating bacterium. So this is what they say, what foods you can find this disease in. People can get infected with Vibrio vulnificus when they eat raw shellfish, particularly oysters, which I really care nothing about. How you doing, Orby? Thank you for joining in. So if you were a seafood eater, which I am, I love seafood, but some I don't eat because it's an acquired taste. So the bacterium is frequently isolated from oysters and other shellfish in warm coastal waters during the summer months. Since it is naturally found in warm marine waters, people with open wounds can be exposed to Vibrio vulnificus through direct contact with seawater. There is no evidence of person-to-person transmission of Vibrio vulnificus. So this is basically a water bacteria. So it happens in warm salt water or ponds. And then they say there are symptoms for you to pay attention for. So common gastrointestinal signs and symptoms of Vibrio infection is as follows: watery diarrhea, stomach cramps, nausea, vomiting, fever, chills. I haven't experienced none of that because I really haven't been near ocean water in a while. Signs and symptoms of Vibrio wound infection is fever, redness, pain, swelling, warmth, discoloration, and discharge. So as I mentioned earlier, there were some of the states that these cases are coming from. And the highest number of cases came from Louisiana, where 17 reported cases and hospitalizations included 4 deaths as of July 30th. Now, this is all this year, y'all. This is 2025, July 30th, 2025. Another state, which is us, Florida, reported 4 deaths caused by this infectious bacteria back in July 24th, a day before my birthday, which my birthday fell on July 25th. Didn't even know this. We totally had 13 cases earlier this summer. Whew, Lord. All right, so how can you prevent it? Number one, what they first said, do not eat raw oysters or other raw shellfish. Zariab I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm the human species. So where's that coming from? It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But y'all don't come on here with that foolishness. Like, if you're gonna come in, be respectful. Okay, or you're gonna end up being blocked. Number one thing to prevent being infected is do not eat raw oysters or other raw shellfish. Also, cook shellfish thoroughly. These are preventions. For shellfish in the shell, boil until the shells open and continue boiling for 5 more minutes. Steam until the shells open and then continue cooking for 9 more minutes. Do not eat those shellfish that do not open during cooking. Boil shucked oysters at least 3 minutes or fry them in oil at least 10 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid cross-contamination of cooked seafood and other foods with raw seafood and juices from raw seafood. Eat shellfish promptly after cooking and refrigerate leftovers. Avoid exposure of open wounds or broken skin to warm salt or brackish water or to raw shellfish harvested from such waters. Wear protective clothing when handling raw shellfish. So this is all about this infectious bacteria called Vibrio vulnificus, which is a flesh-eating bacteria. So it's not being talked about, y'all. That's why I subtopicked it under the radar, because I don't really hear too much about it. Now, I heard about it, but then it basically just got brushed away. Nobody really continued the story. Nobody continued. No mental problem here. Zariab. Yes, I know my God. And he basically is the one that instructed me to wear red hair. So now if you have an issue with that, you take it up with God. I was obedient. And until he tells me to change the color, I will continue to wear it. Amen. So that's enough for this topic on today. I just wanted to bring an alert to it because it's something that was not that far back talked about, but then it went off the radar. They stopped talking about it in the news. They brought it up and then they just brushed it off. and it's not cool because it's in, it affects me because it's in my state that the cases were found out of numerous other states in the United States. So we're going to leave it right there for today. This again is Apostle V Brown with the Daily Live Pop-Up. I'm going to be here the rest of the week, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and share my channel with others, because I do bring interesting topics every day. So I'm here Monday through Friday every week, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I bring different topics every day. So it can range from current events, about music, about my social life, about my events that are upcoming, forthcoming, about politics, about cases with unalivement, just all sorts of things, business, so maybe tomorrow that'll be about, because I haven't talked about any business topics in a while. All right, so I may just bring a business topic on tomorrow or one day this week. All right, but just make sure that you're subscribing. This is again yours truly, Apostle V Brown, getting ready to sign off. I hope you have an amazing day. Stay safe and stay prayed up. Shalom.